Hello everyone, Max Stratton here. Today we are doing Chapter 13, Leadership in Crisis. First it starts off with a quote, "There can't be a crisis next week, my schedule is already full," by Henry Kissinger. Pretty funny quote right there. Quick overview. Start off with the crucible of crisis, anatomy of a crisis, crisis types and stages. Crisis leadership, to pre-crisis leadership, leading during the crisis event, post-crisis leadership, and extreme leadership. Yeah, that's pretty much all I was talking about, crisis. So first, the anatomy of a crisis. Know your enemy is the first step to effective crisis leadership. We can't prepare for or manage crises until we have a better understanding of what they are and how they unfold. Crises can be categorized by type and by stages of development. So here are the 10 crisis types: public perception, natural disasters, product or service, terrorist attacks, economic, human resource, industrial, oil and chemical spills, transportation, outside environment. Those are all different types of crisis types. I think we know a lot about them. Terrorist attack, think about 9/11. Economic when Wall Street or anything like that. Oil and chemical spills, thinking like BP back forget how long ago that was. The BP oil spill. So there are 3 crisis stages. So the first one is pre-crisis. Organizations spend most of their time between crises. During these periods of normalcy, leaders typically assume that the risks of a crisis occurring are low. And then next is the crisis event. This stage begins with the trigger event. So it's a big event that is why the crisis is happening. The stage begins with the trigger event that initiates the crisis and ends when the crisis is resolved. After that is post-crisis, obviously. Post-crisis stage begins when the immediate stage is passed and the organization has been able to resume its normal operations. All right, so pre-crisis leadership. During the pre-crisis stage, the leader's primary responsibility is to move the organization from crisis-prone to crisis-ready. The crisis-ready organization is alert to warning signs, identifies potential trouble spots, develops a crisis management plan, and creates a reservoir of credibility and goodwill. So to recognize the danger signs, leaders can prevent many crises by being alert to protons, the warning signs that something is amiss. So next, there is something in this. Oh, here it is. To create a plan. So a crisis management plan starts with a cover page introduction, acknowledgement form, rehearsal dates page, first action page. So when you're creating your crisis management plan, you have to be ready for anything. And with this, the introduction generally should be written by the organization's top executive in order to highlight the importance of the CMP. So after that, you're going to practice the plan and then be able to act the plan if a crisis does occur. So some of the chapter takeaways that I thought were good is, first, a crisis is any major unpredictable event that threatens an organization. Common types of crises include exactly the top 10 that I listed off at the beginning. Economic, informational, physical, human resource, terrorists, natural disasters, etc. Another one is, in the midst of the emergency, engage in vigilant decision making. Resist the temptation to reach decisions quickly and seek out new information instead, reevaluating your choices based on what you discover. In addition, connect with the organization's ethical foundation, encouraging followers to use shared vision and values as operating principles during the crisis. So during the crisis, be prepared for any type of change, or always be listening if new information is given, instead of sticking with the plan, because the plan might change depending on the crisis. So learning is, so in the end, it's extreme leaders provide purpose and direction to followers in dangerous situations. Successful in extremis leaders are inherently motivated, engage in continuous learning, share risks with followers, live modestly, and have and inspire high competence, trust, and loyalty. They make special effort to treat dead team members with respect. Great way to end. Thank you.